If you don't review your year, you're going to end up reliving it. Today, we want to give you a powerful method, actually a few methods for doing a strategic review. We're talking about why you need to do this, and we'll give you 5 questions that every leader should ask before they step into the new year. That's right now on Leading Forward.
We're back Leading Forward with Nick and Jeremy. Thank you so much for joining us this week as we just talk about how do we end strategically and how do we make sure that we're doing these things. I'm really excited about this conversation. Thank you so much for joining us for Leading Forward. We are grateful for you, and thank you for subscribing, continuing to follow us, making comments on social media, and just continue to spread the word. This is our last episode of the year.
I would say it's so bittersweet, but you know what? We're going into Christmas. We're going to take just a little break. We're shifting some things, shifting strategy a little bit, and so we're going to come back strong.
Yeah, big things to come in the new year as we start off with season 2 of this. We really do appreciate you. Thank you for continuing to follow us.
Yeah.
You do not want to miss out as we go into the next year. Make sure you share this with someone today to end the year strong. So when we start talking about this, we talk about ending strategically. A lot of times strategy is really more planning forward. You don't think about strategy of looking backwards.
It's true.
So how do we look at this?
Man, I think that we have the obligation, if you are in a leadership role or if you are a mom or dad, then you have an obligation to periodically, whether it's annually, some people do it quarterly, some people do it daily or weekly, whatever it is, it's just having that period of reflection on, hey, is what we're doing moving the needle?
That's right.
Are we winning at what we're trying to win at?
Yeah, I think that's the question is, are we winning at what we want to win at? And how are we doing in that process, right? Are we getting to where we actually want to go? I love John MacArthur. John MacArthur. I'm sorry, I said John MacArthur. I meant
Maxwell.
John Maxwell on this one. I've been reading a lot of MacArthur lately. But he talked about the law of reflection.
Oh, yeah.
And that it's not experience that's the best teacher. It's evaluated experience that's the best teacher.
Yes.
And just how important it is to stop and reflect. We get so busy doing that if we stop and take time to reflect and breathe and look back, we go, okay, here's how I can make better plans, better use of my time, better use of my energy in order to accomplish the goals that I want to accomplish.
So good. And I think there's a distinction. So if someone's listening, they're saying, man, I do. That part of our team meeting is to look back at the week ahead and, we're talking about a deeper dive.
Yes.
We're talking about, that's not necessarily a strategic review. I think that's a review of what happened recently, and that's great. You need to do that. A strategic review, I'd say the distinction is, man, you're peeling some layers off. You're going deeper. And oftentimes, as we're going to get to, Nick, and I loved your questions that you ask yourself every year, you get to the heart of it. You get to this place where you're not just taking a quick glance back, where you're pondering. Yeah.
And it's we don't want to continue to go down this road and realize that's not the road I want to be on.
Yeah.
And so did your actions, did your thoughts, did your relationships reflect where you want to be in the years to come? So how do we reflect on these things and then course correct?
Yeah.
In order to get where we really want it to be.
Man, you just said something that I don't have on any of mine, and that's relationships. I have not had an evaluation of relationships that I've invested in this year. I might have to add that, man. That's killer.
We've even talked about that in our last episode, right? Your circle of influence and how important it is.
Make it part of your review.
Yeah. And there's certain people that you need to go figure out how to add these kind of people in my life.
Right.
Who, you know what? That what they take from me isn't, we're not in the same place anymore. It's okay. Well, that's a whole different episode. Go back and listen to the last episode.
That's right, man. You want to take us through our roadmap of what we're looking at?
Yeah. So first of all, why strategic review matters. And I think, when you look at Psalm 90, verse 12, it says, teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom.
Yes.
And I think that's what reflection does, is gives you wisdom to know
Yeah.
how to move forward based upon what I've learned in the past.
Yeah. Evaluate it, decide what's useful. In the intelligence community, I love your joke that you made about Marine Corps intelligence, by the way. That stuck with me. That was good. It's an oxymoron. But in the intelligence community, there's a distinction between information and intelligence. And the difference is it's evaluated.
Yeah.
Information is free flowing. Information comes from everywhere. Is it credible? What's it saying? Can I corroborate it? Is it reliable? What data is it giving that I can, evaluate? Once it's evaluated, then the intelligence is extracted and the rest is discarded.
Yeah. So one of the things I pray for and just look at is, God, give me revelation of your word, of your truth, and give me the wisdom to apply those things.
That's good.
So it's the intelligence, the wisdom that comes along with the knowledge of that stuff.
Great.
It's good. All right. So when we talk about strategic review and different framework, I know one of the methods that you like is this 5R method. Why don't you walk us through this?
Yeah, it's pretty, man, it's kind of like a Baptist sermon, right? Where everything has to start with the same letter. Just go with it, guys. Just go with it.
You can go ahead and add your do a 6R.
Do a sixth?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Your relationship works on here too.
Oh my gosh. Guys, I'm typing that in right now before I forget. I tell Perry, if I don't write it down, it's not happening. But if I do write it down, it's absolutely happening. All right, so here it is. And it flows, right? It's number one is recollect. Recollect. What happened? Just an evaluation of, hey, what are the actual facts? Not your biased opinion about a story that came from the thing. Like, no, let's look at the numbers. What do the numbers say? That's a core part of it. Number two is reflect.
Love that.
What shaped me? And this is, I think, where, man, you can spend a lot of time. Number three, reveal. What's the truth? What am I learning? So after I recollect and reflect, then let's start to extrapolate some stuff from this. What's the truth that I'm smelling here? And then release. What needs let go? I think that's one that we skip over so much, man. And I can think we can talk more about that. And finally, almost finally, 5 is refocus. So here we go. Recollect, reflect, reveal, release, and then refocus. What matters most for next year? What matters most for next quarter? As we step forward, what's the one thing that if changed would cause the greatest impact? What's the one thing that if we poured energy into would cause the greatest impact? And then finally, relationships. What relationships do I need to invest in? Where do I need to pull back?
So, thinking about this, these reflection and all these R's that you have, I love them. They're great. They're all about course correction.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so, lately been on a couple of different flights. We had our long flight to Turkey and Greece. And then we flew to Florida a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Been on several different trips, flew to Canada. The plane is always making course correction.
Right.
A plane never flies in a straight line.
Yes.
Right? The winds has an impact on it, and all these different things have an impact. So they're always doing these course corrections and evaluating their current position based upon where they were in the past and where am I looking to go in the future. So based upon your current circumstances and the past that you've come from, what correction do you need to make to get to your future
goals? Love that analogy.
I just came up with that's good. I need to write that one down.
You guys, we do. We come up with an outline of what we're going to do, but then I learn from you as we go. And all these good ideas, and I leave here, Nick, and a lot of times I'll write things down. So this is super healthy. And I encourage everybody listening to do that. As you're hearing this and something stimulates a thought in your brain, man, open a note in your phone. Keep a note open always, a Google Doc, something where you can, within 2 clicks, get to it. And jot these ideas down, guys. They will come back. You can revisit them and use them later.
So for me, just side note on this, I have 2 different notes on my phone that I start new every year.
Yeah.
One is called Revelations 25.
Yeah.
So there's only one revelation in Scripture. But these are revelations. These are just key things that God reveals to me each year.
I love that.
And I just have a list of that. So I can go back and look at different years. And but then I also have teaching ideas. Yeah. Whether it's a quote I heard or a key idea of leadership principle, something that we've talked about and going, that's where that note has to go so that I can pull out of that a little bit more and dig a little deeper into it. So
I have one junk drawer. I throw everything in that bad boy, man. Ideas, thoughts. Okay, you said something about the plane, and I love that. I should have looked this up, Nick. Fact, if there is a plane starting out in Los Angeles and it's set for New York, if that plane starts out and it's only 1 degree off, and this is where I'm going to make up something because I don't know what the actual city is. If it's 1 degree off only, by the time you should have reached your destination, you will not be in New York. You will be in blank. I don't know. It was Georgia or something outrageous.
I've heard it from if you leave Miami to LA and you're a degree off, you won't even end up in California.
That's probably okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is
that's wild, man.
Yeah, hundreds of miles off.
But that goes to
just a little bit.
That's it. And
where do you want to be?
And if you don't do a strategic review, 1 degree feels acceptable. 1 degree is, but are we getting to that place that we originally wanted to go? Good.
All right. So go to your next set of questions.
Okay. So on this one, guys, this one is these are tools. Some of these are just great tools to help you in a reflection, to help you in a review. There's an easy one, and you can do this after an event. You can do this after a year of marriage. Hey, first year of marriage, how did it go? Let's look at this. What things did we do that we need to evaluate? What are we taking into next year? And so this one is called impact versus friction. Impact versus friction. So imagine 2 axes. On this one, we have impact on north-south. On east-west, we have friction. So the idea is, hey, I'll give you an example. Let's do an event as a church. That event, this is a real world one. Years ago, during our reorganization, we started to evaluate strategically. Hey, we are spending so much energy in a lot of different directions. All of those things were good things. Nick, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
All those things were good things. But we had to get very honest about what was super high friction, but not high impact. And those things, and you can literally like draw a little L on this and keep the things that fall into, even if they're high friction, as long as they're high impact, you have to evaluate if it's worth it.
It's good.
But if it's low impact and high friction, kill it today.
So this also applies for businesses. Okay?
Absolutely.
So the way we apply this for business and what we're doing is what products you have. You sell these 50 things. Well, these bottom 5 things aren't selling. They have the lowest margins for you.
Yeah.
You keep them on the shelf the longest,
right,
and you make the lowest amount of money. So why don't we drop those 5 products? What are 2, 3, 4, 5 products that we can add that may create even greater value?
That's right.
It's the same thing.
Yes, absolutely. So that's impact versus friction. And then you have the 5 whys. So this is the Sakichi Toyota one. By the way, when I was looking at, when I first learned this, Toyota, the car company, came from Sakichi Toyota, the founder, but it's spelled with a D, Toyota. Huh.
All right, interesting.
Yeah. So he had the 5 why method. Toyota still uses this. We teach this. It's the 5 why method, and it's exactly what it sounds like.
You just ask why and ask why again.
That's it.
Why is that important? Why?
You can
to
walk
get
this
to the
out.
point of what's really the root
Boom.
of what we're doing and why we do it.
And if you stop short, you ask why. Well, because this. Well, why is this? Well, because he was the clarity issue on this, and we'll stop there. And we think we've solved it. But if we really strategically ask it again until you get down to the irreducible compound of what's at the very core of it, that is your issue. And then you have to decide, do I want to attack it, or am I okay living in that tension of this issue?
And at least you know.
At least you know.
At least you know why you're making the decision, what impact that it's having, what friction it's having.
Yeah.
Is it worth the cost?
That's right.
One of my friends always asks, is the juice worth the squeeze?
I love that, man. My buddy says that too.
Yeah. And so is it worth it? But you have to ask the next layer down, and keep going to really get to the heart of not just personal, but even business decision or organizational structure of why we do these things and making sure that we're doing for the thing that matters the most to us.
Matters the most. Yeah, you're exactly right. Good. And then there's a systems review that if you ask yourself some questions, I wonder if we should have started with your questions, but they're killer. But if you start asking yourself these questions, and then you have your answers, filter them through this. We should probably rename it a systems review or filter. So you evaluate whether issues stem from one of the following: people, process, communication, follow-up flow, right? And that's systems, and vision or clarity, or a lack of vision or a lack of clarity. And then finally, execution. Did we just run the play the wrong way? Did we come in sleepy that day, right?
Sure.
Were we sleeping on our hands? Those things, most of the time, you can pinpoint, hey, that was a systems issue. Or it may be, I don't know, we need to see if it repeats. And then if you identify the issue, then that's one step closer in attacking the problem.
I'm not sure if we've talked about it here, but we talked about the people plus systems equal results.
No, that's your thing, and I love it, man. Yeah.
So, and I think that's where this really falls. People
Yes.
plus systems equal results. If you don't like the results you're getting, there's only two things to change.
Yeah.
Either the people or the systems.
Right.
And so the best example of this is the Dallas Cowboys. And everybody says, all right, I'm going to get some Cowboy lovers that are going to hate on me for this. But I would say, are the Cowboys winning right now? And the answer would be
Typically, no.
no.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And I would say they are winning. You just have a different definition of winning than Jerry does. Because Jerry's winning.
Yes. Make no mistake.
Jerry is a businessman that just happens to sell tickets to a game.
That's good.
So he has created the people and the systems to get him the results he wants, just not the results Cowboy fans want.
Yes.
They're still the most valued franchise there is, right? They are continuing to grow. You can typically expect that one of the top 5 highest sold jerseys every year is a Cowboys jersey.
Right. Right.
All these things, they are America's team. Even if they're losing, they're America's team. People watch the Cowboys that hate the Cowboys, which means Jerry wins.
Jerry wins. That's so good.
So you have to evaluate, and everything that you just said right there is it the systems
Yeah.
or is it the people?
That's it.
And do we know the results we want?
Right.
And most of the time, we don't even know the results we want. So how do we know how to evaluate the systems
Yeah.
or the people that we have in place?
It can be a lot. It can be so confusing. If you're on a leadership team, or if you're a dad or mom, and man, there's this behavior. I don't understand what's going on with my kids. Not dollar for dollar, pound for pound, but so much of this
Yeah.
is applicable. And like I told you a few moments ago, I'm taking off Wednesday of this week, and I'm doing a strategic review for my team. Just me. I need to sit with those questions. I need to wrestle with them. Then I'm taking it to my lead team, and my lead team is going to wrestle with them. And then we'll come to the whole team, and we'll create our core focuses for 2026 together. I want to buy-in from everybody. But my wife and I have a date on our calendar, and I was very intentional yesterday to do that so that I could come on here today and say we have a date set to do this for our family. Hey, let's look at the behavior. That's a symptom of something, of something else. You can't swap the people out in your family.
Not
So
in your
you
family.
really got to diagnose it. You got to dig down and figure this out.
But how you interact with those people, how you speak to those people, how you communicate with them, and even the expectation that you
Yes.
put on them can change, right?
So that's good. The accountability portion, yeah.
Accountability. So I read this and used this on a couple different trainings lately, and it said when people are put in tough situations, the immediate mindset is one of 3 things. Either I'm the victim, it's not my fault, you're the villain, you're the bad guy, or there's nothing I could do. And then in response, a lot of times we take either, when we see someone screwing up, we look at them and go, are you stupid or are you evil?
Fair.
And both of those assumptions fall short of really what you're trying to accomplish and how the relationship that you're trying to build.
That's so good, man. Okay. Wow.
So different little nugget there.
Yeah.
All right. So
Can we get to your questions?
yeah. So here's
Let's do
top
it.
questions. I've used these for a couple years. I've tweaked them a little bit.
Yeah.
And I had 10 questions. Then I got to 8 and really narrowed it down to these 5
Okay.
questions that I believe really help most people evaluate their last year.
Okay. Can you just roll through them and then unpack them?
Yep.
Okay.
So number one is, what are 4 to 5 of the biggest wins that you had this last year? 4 to 5 biggest wins. Number 2, what were 3 or 4 of your biggest struggles this last year? Pain points, struggles, pressure. Number 3, what are 2 or 3 things that you learned this last year?
Yeah.
Part of it, what did you just learn? What did you evaluate? Number 4, if you could change one thing this last year, what would it be?
That's great.
And then number 5, did my financial decisions, how much my income was, how much I gave, how much I used, how much I saved, all those things reflect my future goals.
Okay. I want to sit with those. I do. I want to sit with those. For you, when you ask yourself these, what do you do from there?
Yeah, so when you ask these questions, what were your 3, 4, 5 biggest wins of the year? It makes you reflect.
Yeah.
It makes you go back and go, man, that was a big win. It was probably something you prayed for, hoped for, didn't even know you could possibly accomplish. So you need to be able to celebrate some of those wins.
That's key.
And go, man, I'm a lot further along than I ever thought I would be.
Yeah.
Number 2 is, what were your struggles? We need to evaluate those pain points. Were they self-induced? Were they just something I had to go through to get to the next level? Were they relationship-based? Were they systems-based? What was going on that created this struggle and this pain? What did I learn? When people can't answer this question, there's a little bit of self-awareness that's missing.
Bingo.
What did you learn through that process? How did you get better? What are you going to do differently? And that begins to build your future goals. What did I learn through this? I'm not going to make that mistake again.
Yeah.
I'm going to think through my relationships different. I'm going to think through my time and my schedule different because I learned something. Number 4, I ask, what is one thing you would change? Now, I'm not trying to say take away what God taught you through that. I'm not trying to say you didn't get better through the process, but it makes you go reflect back and go, how I dealt with that situation, how I dealt with that person, how I had that conversation, how I made that money decision. All those things make you really press it in because you have to pick one, just one thing. And that really leads to some pain point in your life.
Yeah.
Which hopefully we're able to get better out of, right? And learn out of.
Yes.
And then the financial question. Did how I earn money and how I spend money, how I save money, how I gave money reflect where I want to be in the future?
Yeah, that's okay. So, and what we're not saying with this, right, is that just because there's a pain point, that there's an issue. Think about sales. Think about clients, like working with clients, man. There's a continuous cycle of life, and there's you're always going to be retention conversations and new client conversations and developing leads and new relationships. So part of, just because there's attention, don't feel like you have to cut it. Some of this is good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So then there's a bonus question that goes along with that.
Okay.
The bonus question is, based upon all that, 1 year from today, what's the one thing you want to be celebrating the most? And all these things get to the heart of who you are, the heart of what you truly desire, the heart of where you want to go, and what really means the most to you.
Man. And I think that's what we're really going for.
Absolutely.
At the end of it, as you're evaluating your team and yourself and your family and your company, it's really getting down to where is your heart? Where are you taking this thing? And I'm telling you, the value of this, if you don't do anything else to plan or do it at least once a year, strategic review, even if it's like pull in 2 of your top people and at least do this with somebody. One of those people has to be a truth teller.
Absolutely.
At least one of those people has to be a truth teller.
We need those people in our life that will ask us hard questions, that will help us to be better, to help us to see our blind spots.
This is kind of, I don't know, this is probably not wisdom, but I'll bring Perry, my wife, into some of these conversations. She's been into team meetings because her perspective is different.
Sure.
And I may wait to just have her sit in and then get her perspective afterwards. It doesn't happen often, but it's very interesting what she sees.
Well, especially when we have incredibly godly, wise wives
Yeah.
who bring a different perspective than us.
Yes.
And they bring a little bit softer heart. They see a little bit different relational things. So bringing them in help to cover some of our blind spots.
That's right. Let me give a couple more questions that might be helpful for people. Man, I feel like there's a sneeze coming on, but it's a way down the road. Here we go. What mattered most this year, and did I behave like it? And that's very similar. These are very similar to yours. It's different shades, right? And did I behave like it? Let's get down to the behaviors and actions. Number 2, what did we achieve this year that will still matter 5 years from now? And you could say a year from now, 3 years from now, whatever the case may be. Just project that. Is that the kind of thing that we want way down the road? Number 3, what are we doing that no longer fits who we are or what God is calling us to? What got us here won't necessarily get us there. Who got us here won't necessarily get us there. Yeah. Example, someone might have a leadership ability where they have a lid and they got us to this number of growth and this number of sales and they just don't, whether by inability or choice, have the capacity or desire or passion to go where you're going, especially if there's a vision change. And so you have to realize that it may be time to release them to their destiny.
Sure. Yeah. That's a great thing.
Number 4, what did I delay or avoid that would have accelerated my effectiveness? This is one where I always find fault and I have to own and I have to, I got egg on my face and I have to own it in front of the team. Let me just give you one. This year, I had some good vision for some community outreach, things that we were going to do. Unique, never done before, some fun things to bless the community. And we did not get to those things. So here it is, the end of the year, and we're blessing our community in still some great ways. But we had an opportunity, Nick, and I let it slip by. And I got nobody to blame but myself. So
I have one of those things right now that I'm delaying and avoiding. And I need to send a really hard letter and an email to someone. I've been needing to send this for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And it's a business client that I've got to say some hard things to and about some situations. And I know it's going to be tough and I'm avoiding it. Mm-hmm. But it is when you avoid the hard things, you are avoiding your next step of growth.
Yeah.
It just is. So we can't avoid the hard things.
That's really good. The final question on here was what must I get right this year or else nothing will matter? Nothing else will matter. If there's one thing I have to get right. And then through this process, you can hopefully begin to refine and figure out what your core focuses need to be. When I say core, I'm not talking about 8. I'm not talking about 6. We're talking 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I think generally, depending on the life cycle, where you are, 2 or 3 core focuses.
Yeah, I always say 5,
what do you think?
5 max on that.
Okay.
But it's like clarity creates energy, and clarity creates energy in the right direction.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
And that's what we want to do. We want to put our energy in the right direction.
Yeah.
When in a year from now, can I go, I have fought the good fight? In 5 years, in 10 years, when I'm 70, can I say I have fought the good fight? Because I fought the fight that was worth fighting.
Oof.
The good fight is I fought the right fight.
Yeah.
So what does that look like? And what energy, what dragons do I need to slay in my own life or around me? What things do I need to go after and fight the right dragons, not just any dragon?
That's good. Man, let me share where I'm at. Just a vulnerable moment, if that's okay, with that came via a strategic review. And this is with my family. And we're at a place in life where the kids are teens. My youngest is 12, so almost, she's awesome. She acts like she's 15 sometimes. And we're at a place where they're going and we're going. And we have this, we had an amazing vision for this property that we developed. It's been beautiful. It's been a great experience for our family. It's tractor and, we got some property. And the kids have learned some great values out there. It's been fantastic. We are now transitioning to where being tied to the house does not align with the values and the vision for where we were taking our family. The vision has shifted.
Yeah.
The values that we once wanted for our kids, we've lived in those values. And now we're beginning to establish some new values, such as new experiences as a family. So that brought us to a place where we had to make some hard decisions. And maybe that's the case with some of our listeners right now. Maybe it's an encouragement. We decided to downsize. So our house is on the market. We want to downsize, free up time and money to focus on those things that are the most important.
Here's what I want people to hear. I want you to hear, and I want other people to hear.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that the decision you made back then when you bought this property in this house was wrong.
Right.
It was the right decision at that season of life.
Yeah.
But now you're doing course correction.
Yeah.
And based upon where we're going and where we want to go now, we have to make different decisions.
It's hard.
And you cannot allow your pride to go, yeah, but we made this decision. We got to stay in it. No.
Yeah.
Pivot,
man.
Pivot.
You got one shot at this thing.
Make sure that you are going after the goals that matter the most.
Yeah.
And it may look foolish to someone else, but when you have a calling of God upon your life, your family, your business, you make different decisions. And other people may call it foolishness.
They will. That's good, man.
So
okay. This was helpful.
take time, evaluate, take time to reflect on this last year. And then out of those questions, you go, based upon those, what's next year look like?
Right.
What are the things that matter most? I learned, one of my wins is you made all this money and you grew your business and you did all these things. And one of my struggles was, I didn't spend enough time with my family. So next year, how do you course correct and go, okay, business gets this, but it doesn't get this. It doesn't get this from me. And making sure that you're doing the things that matter the most.
Let's go. I love that, man. I love that.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Leading Forward. This is actually
finale.
This is the finale of
season one. Only season one finale.
Yeah. So make sure you like, subscribe. We will actually be sending out some content here soon with some different reels, some different information. Make sure that you follow those. Make sure that you share those. That would be huge. Make a comment on this. We'd love to be able to respond to you. Jeremy, been great. As we reflect on season one of Leading Forward, it took us stepping out, getting started to make this happen. I know and I believe that God's going to use this in the days ahead. It's only going to get better because we're always going to get better because that's who we are.
That's who we are.
So thank you again for joining us. Always learn, always grow, always get better, and always lead forward.